Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Ricky 365. My name is Shriek, and with me today is Diesel, and this is your channel, guys. So Diesel, again, I got a situation. As you saw, we received on YouTube and we received on Instagram a couple of messages from an individual that we're not going to disclose uh, their name in this case, but the question came across as this right here, guys, and I want you guys to follow this case with us. Okay, we're gonna be talking about a bunch of things that might be helping you or someone that you know. So the question came as, why does the military claim military sexual trauma or MST a temporary disability? Question mark. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ, where are we getting, Mark, with this?
Uh, wow. I would like to say first and foremost, if you are a victim to MSD, military sexual trauma, my condolences go out. You're a strong individual. Keep the fight. Keep up with the counselings, and um, it's a long road, but you're gonna get better. That's the main focus. As far as the military, they got things backwards. That's all I can say, Rick. Um, I think I think with MST and PTSD, it's automatic TDRL 70%. That's minimum, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken.
The you're correct when you bring that with the automatic TDRL, but I want to give you a little bit more about the message that we have here. The question continued by saying, why did I have to wait 5 years? Question mark. Due to that, she's talking about her dependents kids, they're missing education. Of course, if you have kids on the age that they're going to be going to school, and you don't have your paperwork straight, and you don't have your claim with the VA, and your percentages where they're supposed to be, depend on the state that you are, you might be out of pocket for education on your kids. When if a claim goes through accordingly, on time, on a timely manner, those service members, those veterans, those fellow veterans can receive, school benefits, man. What do you think about that? I'm gonna be asking you a lot. I'm gonna be asking you what you think about that a lot.
The question is, whoever the person is, did they do their due diligence of you know making sure all their ducks in the room before they answer? Waiting 5 years after, that's excessive, because if this is a issue that is traumatizing the individual at that point in time, you should have weekly visits from the doctor discussing this issue. So I would like to know a little bit more why it took 5 years. I think there's some story there that we're not being told. But if you're telling me that you get everything in your power and it still took 5 years, that's definitely a complaint in my book.
I'm with you 100%. I really think that when the individual is telling us, hey, it took me 5 years to get this disability. Why did I have to wait 5 years? I think that the question comes out as that the individual was fighting for this, and it took 5 years to the VA to process this claim. It could be either or. But what I got to tell you, what I got to tell you right now, Diesel, is that this individual is tracking. The person will receive a CMP, but he's in 2021, and now with the coronavirus cases, with all those roadblocks that we have, I think that is gonna be more difficult to get an accurate date for these exams.
So okay, so pretty much they've been fighting to get this on their paperwork, and they finally got it on their paperwork within the fifth year or whatever it was, what you're telling me. And so they're wondering why it took so long. Well, whew, if you're in the VA is going to take long. Period. You stub your toe, and you won't get anything after 10 years from the VA. So that's going to take a while. But it harps back into, if you med boarded from because of this, then you should have got all your paperwork correct before you got out. And that's what we need to stress on a lot of veterans, especially as going through the med process, because you can get, this is an example on how you can get lost in the system. And something that you care about a lot, other people don't care about, you know. So if you really, I'm not saying whoever didn't really care about it. I know they were probably not on the importance, and had a mentor to say the importance of getting this done now, because it's gonna really hurt you. So I would say it's definitely a learning experience. That's on my part. That's what I would have to say.
I think you're correct, Diesel. 100%, man. But I gotta tell you, I mean, and this can happen to anybody. Somebody who is either getting out of the men board, somebody who got chapter out of the military, and then he waited. Took him 5 years, 3 years, 10 years to claim this. Somebody that retired and they never filed for this VA disability, for this VA. They never put this VA claim. The one thing I got to tell people, and this is law, okay, is that as soon as you get out of the military, okay, as soon as you leave the military, once you turn in that ID card that says active duty or reserve or whatever the case might be, you have to go and you have to submit your claim, okay, for whatever. You have to start your claim. So 5 years down the road, when you are going to get your claim for X, Y, or Z, guess what? That claim will be retroactive. Okay, maybe and hopefully in this case that we have in our hands, this being filed, with time, because of the events probably happen. Because of these events actually happen while on active duty. That's why it's being labeled
MST.
MST, because that's the only way you can get MST if it happened while you were an active duty, either active duty, you were an active duty, you were reserved, or you were active serving, or you were in training, and that happened while you were in order. So I want to bring you back, DCL, back to 2012. You probably guys cannot see this right here. Yeah, you probably cannot see this. That's my green screen, by the way, guys. So back in 2012, the Committee on Veterans Affairs of the United States of House of Representatives, they took a hearing, okay? And when they took that hearing, to talk about that invisible wounds, okay? And what is invisible wound, guys? Invisible wounds is the VA examining or taking a look at the disability and compensation benefits process for victims of military sexual trauma, okay? That is MST. So if you take a look at this, I'm going to be posting a link to all these documents that I have with me that we're going to be sharing with you guys today. Is that, pretty much they put a good case. They put a good case here. And I want to give credit to the American Legion, and I want to give credit to Lori Perkio, Assistant Director of Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation Commission. Okay, so it comes to a point where they're talking about, and here, and I quote, the VA is clearly aware of the difficulties the victims of MST face in conjunction with the claims process. Okay, and they quote, and they're going back in 2004, guys. We're in 2020. In 2004, a document produced by the VHI on MST recognized some of the challenges and offer advice to VA healthcare providers regarding patients of theirs who might be seeking service connection and compensation for residual effects of MST incur in service. And the keyword right here, okay, they don't even capitalize this right here, but it's residual, okay? Because when you put your claim for MST, you are not getting paid for MST. You know that? Yeah, this is crazy. You don't get it paid. So if you are sexually assaulted, okay, in and I'm sorry if this is too graphic for some of the viewers, but if you get rape while in the military, okay, and let's say that hey, you say, hey, I'm not going to continue in the military because I got raped there, and you get out, you cannot go to the VA and say I want to get benefits just in the sole condition that I got raped while in the military. They will turn you around. They will say no, that doesn't qualify for it. They will give you a rating of 0. MST will give you a rating of 0, no compensation.
Wow,
This,
I know that.
yeah, this is crazy. I mean, so one of the things that when I was in the military, I was what we used to call sharp, and I get to help some people, some individuals who were victims of sexual assault and sexual harassment. In my case, mainly males. And then I got kind of familiar with these kind of things. But now I talk to you guys about, I talk to you guys about invisible wounds. There's some, and I'm going to put this link for you guys to take a look at this information. On this link right here, on this information that I have here, okay, because how we get benefits, Congress has to approve those benefits. They need to approve funds for those projects. So Diesel, one of the things that I'm reading in this transcripts right here is that we are getting some kind of good information on how doctors can then use that residual causes of this trauma to then gain some benefits for these victims, guys. And then what it says right here, if a victim of sexual trauma, okay, it's not sexual assault now, it's a sexual trauma in the military, is currently experiencing symptoms of PTSD related to that trauma, and it could be a bunch of different residual trauma, okay. They're being mandated to utilize the DSM-4 or the upcoming DSM-5. Okay, this is back from 2012. So right now, the DSM that we're going to be using is DSM-5. And one of the things that I did is I went online and searched for the codes of what these doctors are being required to utilize, okay, and how to code properly these problems that people are having, these veterans or active duty service members. So, and then I came down to a very small portion, almost towards the end. Okay, and towards the end they talk about four. There's 4 instances where when they talk about sexual abuse, and they talk about sexual abuse about from to an adult or sexual abuse to a child. Okay, and I'm gonna put this online for you guys to research and take a look at it, because once again it's like I've been talking to Diesel for so long. Every time that you go through a problem, every time you go see a doctor, you need to ensure that you get this documented on your medical records. Mark, I'm sorry, Diesel, tell me about what's going on the active duty side.
Put the mission first, and we don't care about our bodies. With that being said, the doctors that are there, the captains, the majors, they have to put the mission first too. And sometimes they have to see so many people in a day, and they'll let you leave without a diagnosis. And it's up to you to say, well, this is something that's really hurting me, and I really need to document it, or you're just going to allow them to do that to you. And I've seen on many of my I look back on my medical records, because of course when you med board you get this little packet and they show all your medical records, and some of them say it's unspecific. That's what it says on there, as your diagnosis, unspecific. So You got to keep an eye on that. If not, then they don't care.
So, Mark, you're correct, man. I just, when I retired in December 2018, I got my medical records with me, yeah, and then I look at this, files where it says sickle, like 30 or 35 times, and then findings unknown, UNK, and I'm like, what's going on with these people? Why? I mean, so they. I mean, I'm pretty sure that because I brought there a sickle slip, they recorded. Oh, this guy's here on sickle, but then the process failed to go through all the way to the doctor way, where the doctor says, oh, the patient came here for lower back pain, scale 7, this and that. These are my findings, signed doctor such and such. This is my license, you know. And I don't think that they do it intentionally, but I think it's a lack of people get complacent. Some of the nurses, some of the staff, whoever is in charge of that, maybe a mistake, but I mean, just think about it. I mean, when I was in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, we have this clinic, and they used to go 300 to 400 individuals every single day. Just think. So how many people? How many times sick call never got recorded? Who can save lives? There's people benefits. We earned that. Guys, this is the most important part of the video, guys. This is the part where you sit down, you listen to what we're gonna say to you guys. We're gonna give you some pointers on some hints. Guys, we really want to make this process easier for you. Nobody wants to be a victim of sexual trauma. I'm 100% against that. I mean, what can I say to you guys? But I'm gonna talk to you like if I was talking to somebody really close to me. So get bear with me. So the first thing you gotta do, guys, if you are a victim of sexual trauma, it's and I'm gonna put in one word: records. You must have records of everything. Okay. From I'm gonna say from where everything started. Okay. And how can you get records of that? By calling the police, by going to the doctor, by getting
Safe kid. Safe kid.
safe kit, by getting a safe kit done. Thank you, Mark. I'm sorry. Thank you, Diesel. uh, you must have records, guys. Okay, and then I'm gonna give you something right now. Is that you understand, since we've been talking on the video, that you will not get paid for that. Okay. The only way that you will get any kind of benefits is if you have any residual trauma like PTSD. Okay. PTSD, if whatever it is that you go through, you must have records of that. And I know it's very traumatic, but you need to go out of behavioral health and you got to see the doctor. You got to talk to your doctor. You got to let them know how you feel, how you used to be before the event, and who you are now after the event. And let me tell you something. Something like this will change every single person's life. Um, Some other examples, guys. Law enforcement authorities. There's another thing. Rape crisis center. If you call them, and they keep records of that. Okay. Mental health counseling. Everything that you can get from the hospital. Physicians. Pregnancy tests. Uh, and then in some of the worst case scenarios, any test that you have done for sexually transmitted disease, STDs,
Yep.
statements from everybody that was there, everybody that knew you before, everybody that knows you after, yourself, your family members, roommates. You call it, guys. People that are in from church, from your preach. If you have to go talk to them, you need to get statements from them, guys. Okay. uh Lay statements. Lay statements are statements that they're not coming from professionals. This is statements that are coming from individuals who know a little bit about MST. Okay. And they have credibility with the community. Okay, like people in good standing with the community. Any behavioral changes that you have, uh any if that, even if the MST survivor did not report his or her MST to the military, okay, you need to have documentation of that, guys. Okay, just listen to what I say. Even if you report it or not while you were in the military, you have to have some records of this, and then everything will match when we start talking about times. When those dates are start lining up together. Let's say that you never mention it to the military, okay? But you were in active duty between 2010 and 2011. But guess what happened during in 2010 in March? You went to the doctor, and they again they did their job, and you have diagnostic of being sexually assaulted. That will help you out then in the future. That's why it's so important, guys, for you to go to the doctor and make sure that they do their job. Okay. Uh, if you request a change to another military station just because of something out of the you just wanted to get out of that duty station, you never reported to the military, but then you can put down the road, you can put the things together. Um, War performance. Let's say that you were an NCO, you were a 1-1 or above the best, and then you went from being the best to being the worst. Um, if if by another case scenario, substance abuse, we start, once you get out, we start talking about these dates. This happened after this happened because of this, behavioral changes. Okay, and countless. I'm going to put this list on this. So, guys, what we want you to do is make sure you have records. Make sure that you have proof. So when you are out, when you are going through the VA system, you can validate your case, so you can receive compensation.
It's all about cooperation. Um, you know, investigations for over 2 years, and the main thing that we focused on was cooperation. So this has to line up with this, and it's nothing called. There's nothing called. So it's called cooperation. I've been in investigations for over 10 years, and we look at stuff and we make sure that it links up. There's nothing called. Uh, Help me out again. Coincidence. There's nothing called coincidence. Okay, so if, like he said, if it happened in 2010, there's going to be a little breadcrumb. If you didn't report it, there should be a little bread. And when you're at the point where you're at right now in your life, we should be able to trace those breadcrumbs back. So even if you decide to, put mission first, put the military first, you know what I'm saying? Still do yourself a justice by leading a trail or azimuth or back azimuth to where you were before the military, because that's going to help. I've lost hearing, I have bad knees, bad back, but because of my initial uh, assessment, they can see the deterioration. And now they can go ahead and give me a fair shot and say, you know what, you weren't having nightmares of people being blown up. You weren't doing that. Huh? So great question. It sparked our intellect. Of course, we did a lot of research, but great question. I hope we answered it.
Yeah, Diesel. The last thing I want to bring up is that the last part of the question is why they need to wait for so long. There's nothing that we can do to expedite the process. What we can tell you is whatever is behind you, whatever you overcome, because looks like this individual is a champion. I just want to tell you this. This individual, they miss on educational benefits, and with that statement there, I am reading to the word saying that this individual put his or her kids through school, sweat it out, whatever. So don't worry about the past. Just focus on the future. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on what you need to do now to ensure that today and forward you're set for success, guys. We're gonna help you guys out as much as we can. The last thing, one of the things I want to say to you guys is your VSO is very important when it comes to your claims. Your VSO, which is what's your VSO? Your Veteran Service Organization. Yeah, the VSO guy. Yeah. So when you go to your VSO, you need to make sure that you click with that VSO. You need to make sure that it's a good fit, like a glove, like a nice glove, or like a nice pair of shoes, or and if you don't have a good VSO with you, if you guys don't speak the same language, if you guys cannot relate at least to 5 different things, listen, 5 different things. You got to count them. You got to get back to your VSO. Well, do we share this in common? 5 things. If you don't make 5 things, ask for another one. I'm sure they will find you one, even if you had to travel. And Diesel, what do you think about the VSOs?
VSO that we didn't link together. Man, he kicked me out the. So yeah, definitely have your VSO. I think it's your veteran service officer. That's what I want to say it is. So yeah, definitely link 5 things. If I would have, if he would have told me 5 things, went in there, he would have definitely not got kicked out the first time. 5 things, y'all. 5 things, not two, not one,
Well, yeah.
not because you guys had a deployment and he had a deployment or he or she had a deployment. 5 things.
5 things, yeah. So to end up, we cannot answer every single question based on the details. We definitely we love to have you on the show. Maybe if every case, whoever it is, if they want, if anybody, if they want to come to the show, the only thing they need to tell us is, hey, I want to go to the show, I want to be there. We can voice, we can mask your voice, whatever. We can definitely help you with the advice that we give you. But also, just look at the people that are going to be watching this video. Let's say there's 20 people. And of those 20 people we help too, I'm telling you, you have done so much. We have done so much, man. Um, I just hope that this video touches 1 or 2 persons. It's definitely changed my life, Diesel's life. We're doing fantastic. So we're doing fantastic, huh? But yeah, what do you think?
All right. Hey, that's it, man. I mean, this is we should call this to it. I know you had the NCO corner
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or NCO wall to wall.
yeah. I don't know, man. Back 40. Welcome back. Welcome to the back 40. The back 40.
That's it. So in closing, hey guys, thank you. Once again, just hit me up, hit Rick up. I'll be in the comment section below. If you guys need it, we're here. We're here to help.
All right, guys, have a good night. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels, and leave a like if you like the video. Any comments, whatever you can apport, into the channel. If you see somebody that asks any question on that on the comment section below, and then you have a good answer, go ahead. Feel free. We need to help each other out. So have a good day.
That's it.
All right, brother.